Yo, what up? It's Phantom Racer Dash Morrison, and this is Drinkin at Mo's.
This is Drinkin at Mo's, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's all so mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Mo's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Mo's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says Drinkin at Mo's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinkin at Mo's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee, and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Drinkin at Mo's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, because YouTube's algorithm continues to be a pain in my ass. Where most places can find the audio podcasts too. Don't forget about those. Today, I'm excited to have with me the Phantom Racer himself, Dash Morrison. How you doing?
I'm doing great, my guy. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Now, before we hit record, we were talking about something, which we'll get to that in a second, because that's going to be what we're going to start off with. But the first thing I like to start off everybody with officially when they first come on the show is what got you started as a fan, and then what got you deciding to make that leap into the business.
Oh my goodness. How much time do we have?
Oh, we've had some conversations go on for quite a while, so
I got into this briefly. I recently did a podcast on the Alliance blog with my tag team partner Vince, and
I've seen about that.
Similar question was asked. For me, it really started as a curiosity. As a kid, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do growing up. I was very out of place. I guess the best way to describe it, I couldn't really fit in anywhere. And that led to a lot of bullying and a lot of teasing, and it was mostly just because I didn't have a sense of self. I think that all changed around the time I was in, I want to say, the 4th grade. I had to have been 10 or 11 years old at the time. I was on the school bus, and a neighbor kid who lived with me, he was playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 or 2008 on his PSP, and it was like you hear the cliche joke, wrestling when your parents walk into the room. It was not pro wrestling the way that I imagined it. It was like I saw him playing. He's playing Rey Mysterio. That stuck with me, and Rey became a huge idol for me growing up. But they were in the parking lot doing like the dives off the production trucks and the fight in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, I didn't even. This is like it's like live action, like action movie stunt man stuff, and I was like, that's nothing like I imagined wrestling to be. And I'm sure I had like glanced at pro wrestling on TV once or twice in my life, saw Hulk Hogan or The Rock or someone like that, but this was the first time they actually like intrigued me. So I started watching SmackDown locally, and right away I connected with Jeff Hardy, and I felt like that was the missing piece of the puzzle for me. So I think that was where everything I just went, you know what? He's doing it. He looks good. He doesn't look like a typical wrestler, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to be like him. I want to color my hair. I want to paint my face. I want to look like that because he's throwing himself off of things to the adulation of the crowd. And I'm just like, I can do that. I was never really into sports, organized sports, but I was like, I can jump off something. That's cool.
Oh yeah. No,
And
that's
from there, sorry to cut you off. Yeah, from there, I just that was kind of just the fan part of it. But what really got me into the business was I started training at DFW All Pro Wrestling Academy in 2024. A little later in my journey than some other people. I had some things going on in my life, and I wanted to prioritize, that before I really pursued my dream. But once I put my foot on the gas, man, I never let up.
Kind of fitting for when you're known as a Phantom Racer and being a part of the team. The team name for your tag team kind of all fits in there. And I know, good Lord, for me, yeah, it was kind of similar. I had some, not really knowing where I fit into everything growing up. Although, to be quite honest, that lasted me until literally probably I was in the Navy at 24, 25. But
yeah,
here I am now.
Yeah, your 20s are for just that's like your discovery period, right? Like that's where people really kind of like. I see a lot of people like lose their passions, gain new passions, learn things about themselves, and that's really where it kind of clicks. And some of us don't. It doesn't click for us until a little later.
Yeah, no, but I was definitely in that bunch. But I can see where people like a Jeff Hardy would really speak to a lot of people out there, going through that sort of a thing. But then also, the image of, air quotes, stereotypical wrestler, you're thinking the big old beefed up, like, ugh. But then you see somebody like him that's like flying around, throwing themselves off of stuff, just getting cheered like crazy.
And I'll tell you what really did it for me with Jeff was the whole angle with him and Matt. And like it was like pitfall after pitfall. Jeff kept having these terrible things happen to him. The stairwell incident, the pyro explosion, his house burning down. And it was really like it was triumph through adversity. And that was what really, it's basic storytelling. I feel like anybody can connect to that,
Oh, absolutely. And I got to thinking, we mentioned that, seeing that going into things with Phantom Racer. How did it come about for you to choose that's what you were gonna be out there? Because as I've come to understand, even before the podcast, that first little bit can be kind of a feeling out process. What's gonna stick, what isn't. But once you find that like that you can latch onto, the fans are gonna sense that, and then it's even better when you're latching onto it because it's just that extension of yourself. Because I think it was one of my personal favorites, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that said,
oh yeah,
Stone Cold being hit, the real him turned up to 11 or whatever it was.
I've heard him say that before, and yeah, I think that hopefully I get to that place in my career where I can kind of be a little more of a like straightforward, authentic. Not to say that like who I am is not authentic, but I think everybody goes through those growing pains where they kind of are trying to be this over the top character because they want to hook you, they want to bring you in.
Yeah.
All of the greatest talents of all time, all the greatest workers of all time, they go through that evolutionary phase where they kind of come out of their shell and you get to see the real them. Steve Austin's a good example of that. The Rock, the Hardy Boys, John Cena, Edge. The list goes on and on. I wouldn't say that those are your typical like Saturday night or Saturday morning cartoon characters, but they still resonate because they're larger than life. And really, that was all it was I was trying to find something about myself that kind of like I wanted to take those characteristics, that daredevil mentality, that like never say die attitude, always moving forward, always pushing past every obstacle. And the most literal thing I could think of was like Evel Knievel. And I was like, okay, a stuntman or a motorcycle racer. So that's kind of where that came from. And Phantom Racer, I took that line from a song that I really like. But the idea behind that is I'm faster than fear. Like not even death can catch me. So I'm always wrestling with reckless abandon. And you mentioned Whiskey Throttle, the tag team with my partner, Vince Champagne Crane. It was just the perfect culmination of like, he's a bartender, I'm a racer. Why not make something out of this that kind of represents and personifies degenerate fun?
Oh yeah, I mean the thing that caught me is okay, I don't drink nearly as much as I did back Navy days and stuff because good Lord, I went a little not as nuts as some of the guys I was with, but a little bit. But Whiskey Throttle, it just got me thinking of just drinking whiskey and going nuts. And I'm like, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at us as we take a lot. We're both in our 30s. We take a lot of inspiration from the 90s and the early 2000s, and that kind of extreme lifestyle era.
Yeah,
like, I loved Jackass growing up. I loved
same.
I loved BMX and I loved skateboarding culture. So I wanted to have something to do with that. And yeah, we jokingly always say that we're boozing and cruising because that's just the mentality that we have is like live for the moment, never say die attitude. Obviously not encouraging people to drink and drive, but
no. Like
we're a couple of we're a couple of unique characters, to say the very least.
Oh yeah, and when I've said it a bunch before that uniqueness in professional wrestling can be kind of few and far between. So when you're finding that little bit that can be different enough that we're like, okay, I haven't quite seen that version of that yet. You got something special there.
I tried. I wanted to marry the I obviously like I get a lot of Bob Holly comparisons.
I was gonna say
when he started out, Sparky Plug. And I thought, okay, well, the motorcycle thing's been done a couple of times with The Undertaker and Chuck Palumbo, but I thought, well, what hasn't been done is like a sports bike, like a motorcycle kind of, like just a living embodiment of a Zook, just this small but fast, colorful character.
Yeah. I like it. And that's what got me thinking is, you know what? I was wanting to say that it was you that I saw after. I mean, okay, we record a little bit ahead of time. As of recording yesterday or the day before, there was the whole thing about the indie guy that was saying, WWE.
Oh, that's Phil.
I'm wanting to say it was you that I saw comment on it, making a comment about Bob Holly.
I need to watch my mouth on social media because I do have a tendency to I'm passionate, man. I can't bite my tongue. I can't hold anything back. But it was a tongue-in-cheek kind of joke because, first of all, Phil Noir, God love that man. What a character. What a fun human being. To see what he's been doing on social media for a little while now, and he's just kind of been like taking the piss out of like the kind of the veterans and the old kind of mentality in the industry. And then that post went viral where he comments on well, this young woman in NXT took his character, a character that he used one time 25 years ago in a made up town, and the fact that he was able to just present this familiar story and people bit on it. Oh, he is a genius. He is so funny. It's all love. He's not really like that, but my goodness.
When I saw that, and then I'm seeing people like Sean Ross Sapp, a Fightful. I'm like, what?
It's always the stupidest things we don't expect to go viral that make us famous. That's why I say I gotta watch what I say, because you never know. You never know who's gonna be like that. That's how I know you. That's my first impression of you.
Oh yeah, no, that I've learned that I gotta be a little careful of that myself, because I'm not the type that I don't blow smoke up somebody's ass. Like I'm me. What you see is what you get, and like if I'm doing an opinion show, I'm gonna give the good, the bad, the what the fuck. I'm all of it. And some people, it's rubbed some people the wrong way. And I like, from that point on, I'm like, hey, disclaimer, my opinion only. Take it or leave it.
We live in an outrage culture now. Everybody is very ready. Everybody feels so strongly and so passionately about their opinions. And that's the problem with social media, is it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to not agree on things, but I think social media has given everybody a platform to be like, no, I now I have to double down. I put this thought out there and I can't back off of it. I really have to die on the hill. But the thing about dying on a hill is you're going to die.
you want to make sure that's the hill that you're okay doing that on.
Yeah. Even me, sometimes I've been like, you know what? This isn't the hill I want to die on. I think I don't feel that strongly about this. I thought I did. But man, social media is so like tempting. It's just like, you want to have an opinion on this? It's like, sure.
Oh, I've passed up commenting on so many different things that
you have to. It's restraint, especially when you're a public figure. I mean, some people just take it so far, and you might not even intend anything to come out of it.
Oh yeah, no, it is what it is. Things are better from the point that I was talking about, but hey, oh boy. Yeah, I love my Dr. Pepper, but it gives me the burps like crazy. But all right. Anyways, we're on from that. Now, the thing you mentioned, DFW All Pro, the Texas indie scene, especially in that Dallas-Fort Worth area, is just booming with all sorts of great talent all over the place. Oh yeah. Especially the DFW All Pro Academy is just constantly churning out just amazing talent that, you know, I've been lucky enough to have a handful on. And I mean, from all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'm in all of Texas, really. Like, I know a couple guys, that big dudes that just got signed by MLW that are just.
DFW All Pro is a star-making facility. One of our like brightest prospects, Maya World, just recently signed a contract with AEW.
Yep, I had her on a while back.
She is the big one, and she's so like young and in her career, only like about a little over 3 years in now. Yeah, and wow, yeah, it just goes to show you what incredible coaches and trainers we have, and we don't accept mediocrity. You know, we want people. Coach always says, Coach Lamont Williams Lugatti always says, I'm not training you guys for me. Our show will be fine. We're going to keep producing talent. We're training you guys and training you to be taken away by other promotions. We want you to get signed to other places. And it can be a difficult habit to break in the independents, where you kind of get dependent on certain places and loyal to certain people.
There's nothing
one of the
wrong
best.
with that, but you need
No,
to be able to
not
branch out.
necessarily anything. Yeah, there's not necessarily anything wrong with being loyal to the people who giving back to the people who birthed you and the industry who raised you. But I think any good trainer worth their salt will tell you, go out there and get exposure, make a name for yourself, and bring back that knowledge to us and show us what you've learned. That's the only way wrestling is going to grow, is if we share our experiences and our styles with each other.
Oh, absolutely. I'm fully agreeing with you there. Now, kind of going back to Whiskey Throttle, I was noticing when I get ready for episodes, I like going on to social media, checking up different match graphics and stuff. And I noticed one for a match. I mean, as of recording, we're a couple weeks off of this match, I believe. But going up against, I've released one of the episodes, and I just recorded last week with the other person of the tag team that you'll be going up against in Trap City.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Rico D. Cannon. I know about this guy. I've faced him before, and we're Whiskey Throttle. We're going to be going up against Trap City on May the 30th in Deep Ellum. We beat them the first time, but it wasn't Trap City. It was Rico and Leslie Lorenzo. He's a student of Barrett Brown, and he's certainly a threat in the ring. But we came out on top that night, and it was crazy. It was raving, and there were fans, and it was dancing and music, and it was so crazy. But somehow we got the win, and we got out of there. And I guess Rico's feeling a little salty about it. He's got a bone to pick with us. He didn't like the way that it went down. He wants his tag team partner. I certainly understand that. And hey, these guys came out of the late great Sir Mo's Bumps and Bruises Wrestling Academy. May he rest. And I know they're legit. And I know that they're going to bring their A game. And we can't put anything past them. They're a great tag team. So, they want to get their lick back. So they're going to step into the pit May 30th in Deep Ellum for Extreme Factory. Oh, yeah. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for footage of, because, like I said, I just recorded with Rico D. Cannon last week. I'm going to be piecing up the last bits of his episode and getting ready to schedule that one out. And Javante Williams, I've had him on a while back. And, both great talent. Rico, and a very intense individual I've seen in the ring. And I got that. Wow, words are hard, and I have not even had a drink yet today. What the fuck? Anyways, the intense individuals in the ring, those are like the ones that I really gravitate towards. Like, I'm watching on TV and I see guys like, Samoa Joe is one that jumps out to my head. That, like, you see his promos and you look in his eyes and you're like, you just hope that you're not on the other end of him in the ring, because I've joked about it before with a few different people that I'm like, if I were the one on the other side from them, that I would hope that I brought a change of pants.
Listen, man, Rico, he's intense. You said it. I mean, he calls himself the Rabid Pitbull, and he came for our throats on Instagram. They put out a little promo, shall we say? And wow, I wasn't expecting that. And I had wrestled him. I wrestled the man. Very sweaty, might I add. He's very hard to get a hold of. I mean, we hit each other pretty hard in that match. And he's still standing. I'm still standing, and I appreciate it, honestly, because he's a smaller individual, much like myself. And that's something I could probably do a lot better, is like tap into that mean streak. And I don't know, man. I have a big heart. It's difficult for me to like look across the ring sometimes and go, oh, this guy's my opponent. I gotta hit him, because I'm big on sportsmanship, and but I at the same time, man, I know that respect's not going to win you titles in this business. So
Yeah.
sometimes
No.
I gotta super kick somebody in the mouth. It is what it is.
Oh yeah. No, I get you there. I'm kind of I've described myself in similar circumstances where I just say, I'm like for the most part, I'm like a big old teddy bear, but it's like I do have my buttons that, like, once you press them, it's like I go from like a teddy bear to a grizzly and like that. And then it's like, oh shit, let's get away from him.
Maybe I'm broken, because people, they love to push my buttons, and I'm still me at the end of the day.
It's like people try to say stuff to press the button, and it's like, oh, you didn't really press the damn button. But it's like once they find out the one that they're like, oh fuck.
No, and they won't stop pressing it either. Got a lot of individuals like that at DFW All Pro. They love to push buttons, man.
Oh yeah. But then again, the thing that makes it where those buttons are few and far between for me, military definitely gave me a very thick skin. There's like, people can say a lot of stuff and it's just gonna be like, all right, whatever. You got your opinion, obviously. Whatever.
Man, I can't even like begin to imagine. But in my experience, I kind of view the academy in Haltom like a boot camp, because they test your mettle, they test your endurance and your willpower, and they really want to see if you want to do this. And if you want to be a pro wrestler, man, DFW All Pro is the place to go, because they're not going to turn anybody away. It doesn't matter what your story is or where you come from, how old you are. They just want to see how badly you want it. And I think that gives us a reputation for being one of the premier wrestling schools in North Texas, and honestly, the entire state.
Oh yeah. And it does factor in, I believe it was yesterday, I saw Al Snow himself kind of mention it, more so on like the national TV side for like WWE and stuff, where it's like the people that are there, it can be kind of like, the mind game of and being mentally taxing, like it would be going on deployment, because you're missing out on other family stuff, and you're either trying to go up that ladder or you're trying to stay at the top once you get there, and people trying to take. So when you were talking about that, I'm like, you know what, that does fit. When I was thinking right back to that. Now, one thing that I like to ask a lot of people that have been a part of established tag teams, because I am a pretty big fan of tag team wrestling myself, is it seems like everybody has, they prefer being in singles, or they prefer tag team, or heck, they're the type they'll do whatever. Where do you fit in there?
That's an excellent question, because I think when a lot of us students who have yet to graduate from the academy are trying to kind of find our footing, it can help to be paired with someone of similar experience, or even a mentor figure who can kind of show you the ropes. And I've been in I've been in my fair share of multi-man matches, tag team matches with many different partners, not as many as Vince. Vince Crane has a reputation for being a bit of a tag team specialist in the Fort Worth area and beyond. That guy has, he's a little more experienced than me, but not by much. He, I think, graduated in the summer or the spring of 2025, and I was kind of I graduated in December, so he had a little more. He had more reps, shall we say?
Okay.
And man, he's tag teamed with so many people, so that might be a better question for him. But honestly, me and Vince have found our chemistry and our rhythm, and I really enjoy the Tag Team Whiskey Throttle with Vince because I feel like I have so much to learn from him, but he might say the same thing, and I think it really is just a matter of making each other better.
Oh no, most
Like
definitely. That's
a
the
good
thing with
tag team should, a great tag team, I feel, should always aspire to elevate the other.
Most definitely. I 100% agree. Now we're inching about close to halfway through 2026 already, and it's kind of weird thinking about how quick this year seems to already be going by. What can we expect from you and heck from Whiskey Throttle as a whole for the rest of 2026?
So, short-term goals. First things first. Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence is having a show on May 23rd, and we will be going up against The Wave, Maui Mike, and Reggie Lincoln for the IHWE Tag Team Championships. This is our first title match in our young careers. There has been a lot of eyes on this match, a lot of eyes on this show in general. IHWE is a very prestigious promotion in Fort Worth, in Central Texas and North Texas, dating back to the 90s. So I've been looking for an opportunity like this for a long time, and we're going to bring everything that we have. We are going to treat this like this is everything that we've been training for. The Tag Team Whiskey Throttle is an opportunity for me to kind of revitalize my career in a way that I have never done yet. And I can't wait to introduce everybody to Whiskey Throttle, take Whiskey Throttle out of Texas. Hopefully we can go east to Louisiana and Arkansas. I'd love to go to Oklahoma as well. So getting out there, getting my name out there, and just introducing everybody to Dash Morrison, that's huge on the agenda. And I've got a couple of scores to settle at DFW All Pro. There are some people that have wronged me in the past who I wasn't quite ready to be in the ring with, but I think the next time I get in the ring with some of these guys, they're going to be surprised by how much I've learned.
Well, that's definitely going to be good to see. I love it. Now, I have two categories here. One's a bit of a name game where I name off some people, and you give me your quick thoughts on each of them. And I try to theme it towards the guests as much as possible. And I think the easiest way for me to think of this one was to, being from Texas, each of these guys, big names, at least hailing from the state of Texas. And I've had times where I've had people like, oh, I don't know too much, but I don't think I have to worry about that here. I would like to think. Now, when it comes to Texas and people knowing my fandom of wrestling, if I were naming people from the state of Texas and I didn't start off with this person, they'd probably wonder what the fuck was wrong with me. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, I mean, what can you say that hasn't already been said about Stone Cold, man? He was, I think so many independent wrestlers could learn so much from him just by listening to him talk. He's really he is someone whose career has come and gone. And there's a whole generation of people that are not even going to see him wrestle, but just listening to him talk. He is someone who went through the same journey that so many of us have gone through, working in WCCW in the 80s and emerging on national television in the 90s. And that's the goal for so many of us, right? We're trying to get contracts, trying to get on TV. Just listen to Steve Austin. He's one of the best talkers in the business, in the history of the business.
Oh, for sure. And like, I will say this right off the bat. I don't get starstruck too easily, but I've said it before. With him, if I ever got to the point where I actually got to meet him, I don't know if I'd be able to get a word out. Just
He might not let you. He might not let you.
You're like, what?
He'll cut a promo on you right there, brother.
But yeah, no, I've pretty much all-time favorite right there. But yeah, even thinking about it, I'd be like walking into a room and that he's at the other end, and I'm like, yeah. And I've met a handful of my favorites. Like, I've met Edge. I have a DVD cover of I forget what year's Elimination Chamber, but it looks like he's biting the cage on the cover of it.
Yeah.
I have that.
Was that no Way Out? Was that No Way Out? Yeah, that was a really cool poster. I love that one.
I have that signed by him. I've met oh God, who else? I've met Jericho at least once. I didn't technically get to talk with this guy, but the last time I went to Disney World, I almost bumped into Kevin Owens. I knew it was him.
Of course, it was at Disney
World. I knew it was him because I saw that T-Rex skull tattoo on his arm, and I'm like, ugh. And then I'm like, I almost said hi, but we were in the middle of the park and he was with his family. So I'm like, nope, not messing with family time. Oh God.
And good on you for that.
Other people. Oh God. Swerve. I've met Swerve. I've met Keith Lee. I've met Jeff Cobb. Dude, I'm pissed at WWE for letting him go. I've actually I hadn't even hit 100 episodes yet, and I had Bronson Reed. I actually got to have him on the show, and
I really like Bronson's work in Japan. He's great.
Oh yeah, when I had him on, he was like jumping between Impact and in New Japan. He was like doing both. So yeah, no, that one was something. Now on to the next person, a guy that has seen many different variations, like definitely adapted a bunch, but he is definitely I would consider one of the most well-respected guys in the AEW locker room right now, and well, probably all of wrestling, really. But Dustin Rhodes.
Oh yeah, Dustin Rhodes. He has been so instrumental in the careers of so many talent here in Texas. Doing a lot of work at the Texas, the Rhodes Wrestling Academy in Austin. And I've actually had the chance to meet a few of his students. In fact, Kane Carter, the current HOT heavyweight champion, he's actually we're in the same town. We go to the same gym. We've trained together in the past. So Kane's a great guy, and getting to know Dustin through his students, I can't think of a better legacy to have. I would, if you asked me, I think my coach would probably say the same thing. He wants to live on through the legacy of his students, and one of Jimmy House, another one, just got signed to a WWE ID. He's on Evolve now. So yeah, Dustin's doing great work. We've got a lot of great wrestling schools in Texas.
Oh, that Texas does. Now the next person on here, she's such a young age in the business and is already accomplishing so much from Ring of Honor to now WWE. Roxanne Perez.
Oh yeah, that's another one. She's been on some DFW All Pro shows in the past. And it's really crazy to think about just how young she is, because you like can find her matches from three years ago, and you're just like, wait, how long has she been doing this? Because she was good even then. Once another name that I've gotten to know through stories, through word of mouth from other people at the academy. Yeah, I mean, that's another one that I think the women's wrestling scene in Texas, there are periods of time where it can kind of like get cold, but then when it's hot, it's really hot. And when you see when you see that resurgence in women's wrestling in Texas, you are pretty much guaranteed to see some future names that are going to be on TV. I mentioned Maya World earlier. There's there's some other great names in Texas. Misty Marks is one of them. Ambrosia Bell, our current DFW All Pro Women's Champion. Definitely keep an eye out for her. I think she's going to be a really successful, talented individual.
Oh, yeah. And with promotions actually being able to do even just periodic all women's shows, like MPX has done the Who Runs the World shows. They've done a handful of those now. And just the absolute bangers they're putting on with that. It's becoming very evident that if you're not finding some great talent, female talent out there to even put on just a couple matches on your show, it's like, are you really even looking? Because literally it's out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree with you 100%. It's such a huge pool of talent in Texas that there's really no excuse not to stumble across a couple of talented people. Definitely keep an eye on the Fort Worth women's wrestling scene, the Dallas women's wrestling scene, because there's going to be there are some that are actively in training. There are some who have recently debuted and already so good. I can't wait to see what these girls are capable of in the next 3 years, like a Roxanne Perez or a Maya World.
Oh, for sure. Now, last but not least on this name game category, somebody that was very instrumental in getting Roxanne Perez started, and I think most people, like at least my age, will remember him from him being the five-time WCW champion, Booker T.
Oh, shucky ducky, quack quack. I actually did a spin-a-rooney at the previously mentioned like wrestling raving show. It was a dash-a-rooney, and that was really fun. I always wanted to do that, and it just seemed like the right thing to do at the time. But Booker, let's talk about. We've already I'm going to be saying things that I've already said. Like I'm going to be repeating myself a lot because once again, reality of wrestling, another great school, and there are I've gotten to see some of their talent come through Fort Worth and Dallas, and it seems like every time you meet them, they're better than the last time you met them. And he is putting some really, really talented individuals on TV. And like you said, instrumental in Roxanne Perez's young career. And that is that's a goal. To go to reality of wrestling, and I think a lot of people also forget it's another student show, much like DFW All Pro, because the quality that they put out, and it is a state-of-the-art facility.
Yeah.
Wrestling could benefit from that. You look at their roster; they look like stars. They look like athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Not long ago, one of my trainers, Alejandra Quintanilla, Lion, she actually got the opportunity to wrestle in a women's ladder match on Reality of Wrestling. So super proud of her, and I think she's another one that's about to break through. I think you hear a lot of rumblings in the business about Alejandra Lion in MLW and CMLL, and I couldn't be any more proud of her. I've learned so much from that woman. She has been a huge part of my training.
Awesome. Now, I have some random questions, some wrestling related, some not. That's why random. I just putting my notes together. I'm like, I feel like asking this today.
The best kind of questions are random questions. Do we get into a flow state?
Yeah. Now, so I give you the question, first answer that pops into your head. First one, pretty much the only question, well, one of two questions that's always in here regardless, and I like to lead off with it. Craziest in-match moment for yourself?
Like the easiest in-match moment for myself?
Yeah, like
or
crazy,
the craziest.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Or like, I've had some where it was like crazy, like, holy shit, they almost got like seriously hurt here. Or somebody, oh God, I've heard of moments of people going through walls. I've heard it all.
On that note, when before I was Dash Morrison and I was still paying my dues, I was refereeing a ladder match, a three-way TLC match. And a ladder fell on top of me and then just completely like crumbled me. And it was one of those moments where I looked up and saw it before it happened, and I had time to think about what was about to happen, and I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt. And then bonked me on the head. That was fun. In-ring career so far as a wrestler. One time I was going up against somebody and a mystery tag team partner. It was not revealed to me and my partner who this was. This was before myself and Vince were tag teaming. And we weren't on the same page. We were, we're trying to figure things out. But my opponent decided that he was going to bail on the match and he was going to go backstage and do whatever. So in my inexperience, in my hubris, I decided it might be a good idea to follow him to see what happened. And then, boy, was I in for a rude awakening, because the next thing I knew, my coach, Lou Gotti, was whooping me from corner to corner and chopping me and throwing me all over the place, and this was the mystery partner that I did not know about. So wrestling my own coach, that was a surreal moment for me.
I can imagine that being pretty surreal. Now, we talked a little bit about, the influence of Jeff Hardy and being somewhat of a daredevil and some of the crazy stuff that he's done, crazy stunts and stuff, kind of almost, influencing a little bit, Darby Allin right now, which goddamn, that guy's a madman. But it got me thinking. Have you ever done any, we also talked about Jackass, any crazy, almost Jackass-esque stunts, or like done anything like cliff diving or random stuff that like some people would look at it and be like, yeah, no.
I'll say this much, without going into too much detail. The motorcycle aspect of my character is not a coincidence. When you're a young man and you live out in the more rural areas of Texas, you kind of have to make up your own entertainment sometimes.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't wrestling, man, if it, there wasn't a thrill that I wasn't seeking. From jujitsu to dirt bikes to parkour, anything that you can imagine. Yeah, that Jackass era of MTV definitely inspired me and my crew.
Oh yeah, I can get it there because I've myself done. Oh God, I think I was down in the Lake of the Ozarks area, and there was like a big cliff that you can climb up and jump off of. I was up and down that cliff a bunch of times. I remember being a lifeguard in my hometown, and somebody had left their bike at the pool for it was like a few days, and like nobody was showing up. We had it, in the office waiting for them, and somebody had jokingly said, that they dared somebody to take that off the high diving board, like write it off. And
oh man,
not thinking anything of it, I just said, yeah, I'll do it. And then all of a sudden, the manager walks in and they're asking, hey, the manager said, well, as long as I'm out there to supervise and make sure something doesn't go wrong. And then I'm like,
and
well,
it will. Something always goes wrong.
I guess I got to do it now. And then I'm literally riding that bike off of the high diving board. So I've done a little bit. I mean, probably wouldn't do some of it today with the dang back issues I got from the Navy and stuff, but I look back on it like, yeah, I did that.
Man, I'll tell you this much. The day that they decide to put me in the ring with a ladder, all hell's about to break loose. Because I think people have seen an element of danger in my eyes, and I've had people say, "Wow, I didn't know that you were that tough," or "I didn't know, like, you look like you really, really hurt yourself in this moment in this match." And I'm like, brother, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like,
I can't wait.
It's going to be really fun.
I can't wait. Now, with the name of a show like I have, I feel like I have to ask this. Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise, or shit, both if you want.
I am a screwdriver guy. Like, you throw any type of juice and vodka in a glass and I'll drink it, man. Like, I love that stuff. I'm getting more into like, I love rum. I'm starting to get more into like bourbon and whiskey, obviously. But my partner's a bartender, so I'm spoiled for choices.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'm when it comes to liquor, I'm more of a whiskey tequila guy myself. But other than that, I'm pretty much more of a beer guy when it comes to alcohol. That's just me. Although most of the time when you see me drinking something when I'm recording, it's more likely a Dr. Pepper than anything. My wife.
Hey,
my wife says I'm a Dr. Pepper fiend, and I'm like, yep, pretty much.
Hey, man, shout out to Dylan Cavens, another graduate from our academy, current Metroplex Wrestling champion. That dude lives off of Dr. Pepper, and I don't know how he does it. Maybe that explains why he's so fast and he has so much energy.
Him and I both. Yes, and
I believe it.
Shout out to him, definitely. Yeah, he was a fun guest. Hopefully, get him back on soon because yes, the current reigning, defending MPX champion. So that is awesome. Now,
kudos to him for recently, making it on Ring of Honor with Global Wars.
Yes,
he's such a nice guy. I mean, he is the nicest, most like friendliest and helpful person. Even though he has been, even though he's got a little more experience than myself, you'd never know it by talking to him. He makes everybody feel like a kid, and he reignites that passion in everybody that he talks to.
Oh yeah, I love that about him. Now, last but not least here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into wrestling?
The advice that my trainer, my head coach, Lou Gotti, gave me, and that's to stay green at heart. No matter how much you learn or how much you think you know, always be willing to learn more and always ask questions, always pursue knowledge. To stay green at heart, to me, it's a kind of a way to ground me and remind me that, hey, you're never going to learn everything in this business. Even the greatest guys in this business, they don't know everything. If you ever meet somebody who tells you that they've learned everything, get away from them. If you are young and trying to do this, and you really feel strongly about doing this, listen to how people talk to you. And if someone tries to tell you that they've got some, secret ingredient, a secret recipe for success, you might want to take that with a grain of salt. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to not know everything.
Well, most definitely. It's definitely an ever-evolving process. Always something to learn. Now, before we go, where can people find you social media-wise so if they don't already have their eyes on the Phantom Racer, they can go ahead and get them there?
Well, you can find me on all socials at DashMofficial, all one word. That's DashMofficial. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are what I'm on currently. Trying to, get some more exposure, sharing awesome clips from our DFW All Pro wrestling shows and other independent wrestling shows in the area. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Definitely. We'll get all of that in the description. I want to definitely thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. Been an absolute pleasure. And you are welcome.
Of course, yeah.
Anytime.
And I will be back. And hopefully the next time that I'm back, I'll have some gold, I'll have some hardware, and we'll have a whole lot more to talk about.
Oh, hell yeah. Now, my storied issues with this fucking button. I'm telling you,